This is a spot that a lot of amateur golfers struggle with. We're going at this yellow pin here in the center. I have about 5 yards of some thick, some wispy, and some well-mown fringe between my ball and the green, and then maybe 35-40 feet to get onto the green. Now the issue here is I have a very thin lie. I'm in the fairway right around the green, and oftentimes this fairway makes it difficult to take a 60-degree wedge or something and cut across the ball. It's very easy to chunk the ball out of a thin lie, and sometimes if you pick up on the ball, you're actually going to hit it thin. It's also tough to putt this because this ball has to get through all of this, you know, kind of thick and at sometimes quite wispy Bermuda, so it's incredibly unpredictable to get through this and have good pace control on your ball. So in comes a bit of an unlikely hero in the hybrid. I have a 3 hybrid at 19 degrees here, and essentially what we're going to do here is have a putting stroke with this hybrid, and the ball is actually going to get a little bit of loft. Hopefully it lands somewhere in this vicinity and then jumps right onto the green. So like a putter, the ball stays very low, it's very predictable. But unlike a putter, the ball is not going to be on the ground for these 5 yards. It's going to be in the air for the majority of it. Unlike a putter, this is a full club. So the ball is going to come off very hot on this club face. The ball is not going to, you know, get up in the air like a 60-degree would. So it's important not to have a big, you know, swing like this, because that's going to go about 50 yards for me. It's important to keep it succinct. Now, because we're kind of hitting a short chip with this hybrid, the setup is going to be notably different than hitting this 210 yards. For me, I would be standing about here if I was hitting this full, but instead I'm actually going to bring the grip up. I'm going to get the toe end of that club down into the ground, and I'm going to stand a little bit closer to it and grip down. This is going to give the hybrid an easier time getting through this grass to kind of navigate the ball and navigate this very thin lie, which is part of the reason that we're going with this club. This ball position is about in the middle of my stance, and again, I'm just kind of getting a putting stroke. You want to be accelerating through the ball, but you cannot be long in accelerating through the ball. And aside from that, the mechanics of this motion are very, very similar to a putt in that there's no wrist action here. You're just letting those shoulders kind of rock here. Let's take a stab at one here. Get nice and tall here. Comfortable grip, comfortable posture. That landed nicely on the edge. Ran about 5 feet past. Got a little excited on that one perhaps. But as you saw, that only landed one time in this rough. It landed right about here, excuse me, in this fairway. It landed right there, so let's try and get this ball to land just a little bit earlier, but about the same stroke. That one's all right. That got up to about 4 feet. None of them perfect. I will say that this is not a natural shot. So it's not going to be a shot that you can just turn to immediately on the course. You do have to spend some time, like I am right now, just practicing it, seeing how the ball comes off of your club. Another factor of this shot is what type of rough or fairway this ball will be landing in. Right now I'm playing on Bermuda, so the Bermuda will have this ball kind of skip through it a little bit easier than maybe a bent grass when you're into the grain. But just playing around with different landing points, just pay attention to where that ball is getting up in the air in terms of loft. Like that one stayed a little bit lower, but it still got through the grass very nicely. It took 2 bounces. That ball rolled out to about 8 inches. So, you know, from here, from about 35-40 feet, we want to be getting that ball within about 3 feet of the cup. So anything inside of 1 foot, I am perfectly happy with. Let's get 2 more good ones here. Again, just trying to land this ball right on the edge, have it land in that Bermuda, and then run right up there. That's right at it. Oh, lipped out. Again, carrying a little bit of pace, but it depends on your situation if you want to be aggressive or not. Right now, all of those balls, maybe one of them's outside of 5 feet. So I certainly have a little bit more practicing to do, but I hope that the fundamentals I've showed in terms of club selection, when to use this, how we approach the shot, I hope that that helps you spend some time practicing this shot. And if all goes well, spending some time with it on the golf course. That's another one inside of 2 feet. So I'd say I'd make a decent amount of those putts. Let me know if you like to turn to the hybrid around the greens, and if you're just trying it out, let me know how it goes for you. It's also important to note that while hybrids work, if you have a 5 wood, that might be a little tricky, but a 7 wood or a 9 wood, it can also do the same thing. So it's just a matter of playing with what you have in your bag and practicing this shot before taking it out on the course. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.